with objective 23. Before we do it, let's kick it off with a beat. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And all right. Go ahead and just sit it there, and I'll grab it here at the end.
Good job, Robert.
Yes, well done. Oh yeah, we forgot we got to clap for Robert. You did a cowbell. Perfect. Those are 4 perfect quarter notes. Okay, what we're looking at is, this is the end of our statistics. We started with stem and leaf plot, then we learned mean, median, mode, and range, and then we end with box and whisker. Like the same guy who invented stem and leaf plot, invented box and whisker plot. It's a way that we can take the numbers, and we're actually going to turn it into kind of like a little picture thing. So there is real life applications to it as well, with things with statistics, you know, as you get into doing statistics with large amounts of data. We're just going to practice it with some small amounts of data. And I think it should be simple. It should be something that's simple for us. All right, create a box and whisker plot. Here's our data. I don't know if they're quiz scores or whatever. You can pretend they're quiz scores. It's just data. It's just numbers. But first thing you want to do when you got data is what? Put them in
order.
Small to big. So give me small to big real quick. 1.
3, 4. Oh, there's
1, 3, 4.
Yeah. 5.
5.
7. 9, 12.
9 and 12. All right, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 12. That's in order. Now, identify the median. I want you to circle it, and we'll also write it. What's the median?
5.
5. So let's give it a circle, and let's write it right there. 5. Median's 5. All right, now, our box and whisker plot, we're going to do here at the bottom. I got you a number line right here. We aren't going to write on the number line. Everything we do is going to float above the number line. We are going to put dots on the smallest and the largest numbers. So what are our smallest and largest number?
1 and 12.
1 and 12. I call them floating dots. So come up right above our number line, and we're going to put a floating dot above the 1. So a floating dot like this, and a floating dot above the 12 like that. Floating dots. All right, now we're going to put a line where the median is. Where is the median? 5. Now here's what I mean. Floating line like this. There we go. Now we're more than halfway done. All right, there we go. A little water. I feel good now. All right, next thing you're going to do, we're going to go back to our original numbers. I'm going to just look at the first half. So ignore the median. If I got a real median circled right here, ignore it. If I just took the first half of the numbers, I'm going to put them in a little cloud right here. If I just found the median of these 3 numbers, what would it be? 3. So go ahead and write that in that one blank. The median of the first half would be 3. And then I'm going to put a little cloud around the next 3. And the median of what I'd call the second half would be 9. Those guys also get little floating lines. So the 3 gets a floating line. The 9 gets a floating line. And now we're pretty much done. I want a floating line above 3. That was like the median of the first 3 numbers. And a floating line above 9, the median of the next 3 numbers. Now to finish this box and whisker plot, what we are going to do is make a box out of these 3 lines. So you're just going to box it in like that. There's a box. And then you connect these dots, and that is called whiskers. Like that. So there's your box, and there's your whiskers. Now we're going to add something to our notes right here, kind of a vocab word. Well, it's written right here. It's called quartiles. So the 2 lines that we put right here and here, break it into quartiles. Quartiles kind of like quarters. If you think of a football game, you have first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. What we've done is taken all that data from up top, and we put it into, just like quarters in football. Here's your first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. But the actual names for these 2 things, this one right here, is called the lower quartile. And this one right here is called the upper quartile. So before we go to the next page, just to recap everything we've done. This right here is the lowest value. This is the lower quartile. Median, upper quartile, and upper value. So we're going to do this plot one more time, and then I'll ask some questions. So I'm not asking any questions here. But lowest number, lower quartile, median, upper quartile, upper number. All right, let's go to the back side and let's do a different plot. I got some new data right here. Now, one thing I want to ask is, how many pieces of data did I have last time? How many pieces of data? Not like what's the highest.
7.
There were 7 pieces of data. Notice how many pieces of data I have now, which is 6. So that will be a little bit different on your median. First thing, put them in order. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. When you have an even amount of data, you actually end up having, I'm not going to circle this, I'm just going to do this. Your median is between those two. You don't have a true median when you have 6 pieces of data, but it's between these two. So what is it?
6.2
4 point, 4.5.
6 and 6.
4.5. And remember, hey, if those numbers were, if this was like harder, what would we need to do with these numbers?
Add them and divide them by 2.
Add them up to make it 9, divided by 2, and you get 4.5. So if you had like crazy hard big numbers, you might do that. But we can see between 4 and 5, it's 4.5. That's your median. Now let's go make our plot. First, we're going to put dots above what 2 numbers?
2 and 10.
2 and 10. Give me floating dots above 2 and 10. My floating dots. I got my floating dot above 2. I got my floating dot above 10. The median is 4.5. What goes on the median?
1.
A line. Now it's 4.5, so let's go right here with a floating vertical line. All right, now here's the difference. And this is why we do one with 6 pieces. When I go to do the first half, remember last time I didn't use the median? I said take everything left of the median. Well, since we don't have a true median, I'm going to just say, okay, if the median was right here, I'm still going to take all of these numbers. So my first half median is the middle number here, 3. And the second half median, if I took these numbers, the middle of that would be what? 9. Just like last time, 3 and 9. What are we going to put above 3 and 9? Lines. That's the first half median and the second half median. So right above 3 is a line. Right above 9 is a line. And what were these things called, this 3 and 9? The word for them? Quartiles. Obviously, this is the lower. This is the upper. Make the box and connect the whiskers, and you would be done with the plot. Box and whiskers. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions over this because we're done. We've got the box and whisker plot done. I need those names. There's 5 of them. What was this? Median. What was this one?
Whisker.
This is the lowest number, right? It's the whisker here, lowest number. This one right here was called
Lower quartile.
lower quartile. That one,
Upper number.
the highest number, the greatest value. Either of those.